Well, welcome to our weekly hangout. Let me take care of the business I got to take care of now. Unbelievable. I have to have all these damn videos opened. Stunt Hangar channel. There we go. Live. And that goes on. I'll save that. I can't believe this stupid thing. Customization won't save this. Live chat replay. Save. I'll go back this way. We're going to go in here and let them manage the mid rolls. Yeah, that's good enough. Cancel. All right. We're here with our Monday night hangout. And what I'm going to do tonight when we get somebody in here is I'm going to steam a flap. But until then, I'm going to continue sanding. The airplane's coming out really nice. Really nice. The only thing I got is a warped flap on that side. We're going to straighten it. I probably should wait till I get it painted. Let's do it all at once, but yeah, I think that's probably a better idea. Here comes Gary Sinclair. Hey, Gary.
Hi.
Well, I got people whining that there's no Friday night hangout.
Oh, yeah, I heard you talk about that. You had quite a session this afternoon there.
Pardon me?
You had quite a session this afternoon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good then.
I finally got my Amazon store open. Now I got some direct links in there too, but if you click on the link to my Amazon store, it shows you it looks professional, you know.
That's good. So your streets haven't been plowed yet?
Nope,
Golly.
they don't plow our streets. We got the worst city government you can imagine.
Oh,
I got mail today.
did you? Okay.
Unbelievable. This is a product that I put in my store that I've been talking about. This is what I use, this 3M vinyl tape. I just got these today. This is $9.95. That's half price because they're
Hey,
half price what you can get them at the auto body store. So I don't know how long that'll last, but
there's Bailey coming.
Yeah, I have arrived. And I see that, whoops, I see that we're still doing what we're always doing here lately, sanding.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got
I
the
have
canopy on.
I have many I have 2 months really to get this perfect. So
If you got the time and you got we know you got the talent, you ought to go ahead and do it.
you know, there's not going to be any flying until March, and then March is iffy because it's so windy.
Yeah. This is for sure.
But it's coming out real nice. I mean, the finish is really good. About twice as good as anything I've finished in the last 10 years.
Wow.
That's pretty good at it.
That's saying something because he's done some pretty ones in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty, but they're not perfect, you know. I didn't try to make them perfect. I just went, yeah, that's close enough for who it's for.
Well, I'm gonna try to get one for you to paint next year. Well, this year, but it'll probably be fall before I get to it. Got too many others started. We'll finish that BBQB and then gonna finish that and my ombre and crossfire and there's five or six of them I've got to paint. But the good news is I've got a place to paint now. Out in the building once the weather opens up where I can paint out there. It's too dang cold right now.
Nice in here.
Oh hush.
Yeah. Looks pretty nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some people are lucky. Mm.
The only thing I wish my compressor was out in the garage and there was piped air in. But then it would probably
No,
too
you sure
cold.
about that? You sure
I don't
about
like-
that? Because
I
you'd
don't
have
like
to
the
have two
noise.
dryers. Yeah, but you'd have to have a big dryer because every 20 feet of cable, you add about 10% more moisture, especially if it's warmer in the house than it is outside. Uh-oh, the real Steve
There he
has
is. Hi,
arrived.
Steve.
Hey, boys.
Everybody tighten up. Steve has arrived.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. It's time to loosen up.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hear you're volunteering for Friday night hangout host.
No. When did I do that?
I don't know. That's
Just now.
That's what I was.
My cousin told me that somebody sent you a message and they were volunteering to run it. Who was that?
Peter Navalli.
Okay. I don't know him, but
I don't either, but he never, you know, I want to talk to him on the phone before I turn something this valuable over to him.
They can't see you.
Can't play music, you know, he wants to show video and music that we don't own and ain't going for that.
do you know him? Like from
No.
contests and stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
What if we could get Helmet Head to host it?
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably make money.
You'd probably get arrested. Who knows what he'd show you a picture of? That guy. I've missed some of his worst stuff from what I hear. Oh, good. Did you take your test yet, Philip?
Which test?
Steve just emailed us a couple days ago. There was actually a test that went at the end of our training.
I saw it, but I haven't taken it. I've got a sinus infection and I'm barely able to sit here and think to do this, but I read through some of it and it's not that hard.
I was hoping I could
Pretty easy.
copy off you, but don't tell Steve.
It's pretty easy, honestly.
Steve, can I just mail that to you when I'm done with it? That'd be the easiest way to get all them pages over your direction. It'd take one day.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just chat me your street address when you get a chance.
All right, we'll do Gary.
Got her.
My calendar
That's
finally.
good. Good.
You don't have to play nice.
I wanted to let you know, it just came Saturday. Our mail's been messed up since
It's
the
amazing
snow.
how variable people's experiences can be with the mail. Have you ever heard any of my cousin's horror stories?
No, I don't think so.
I guess they must have a bad post office or something. It almost without exception. I remember one time he bought something from Jim Lee, and it came through St. Louis and then left St. Louis again and went to
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Utah.
that with
But it's not every
Yes.
once in a while. It's almost every single anything that comes USPS. I told them that they got him on a red flag list because he retired from UPS, and they're like, "Well, we're going to screw with this guy. He was the competitor."
Yeah, right.
Well, I
You know, I
complained
got
to
a
the post
suggestion.
office today. The
What's that?
this was supposed to be delivered yesterday, this
Yeah,
tape, and I realized that the mail doesn't run on Sunday. But the excuse they gave was my driveway was blocked.
oh, yeah.
I said, really? I don't have a driveway. And they were supposed to be here at 1:30. There was nobody here at 1:30. So what they did was they got their coffee and donuts and stayed inside and just wrote that they attempted to deliver it, and they couldn't.
You know, that job used to pay a lot better than I think it does now, and I know the benefits used to be a lot better. I have my godfather retired as a postman, and he describes what it was like and the kind of benefits that he has still. And it's kind of like anything else that they must have bargained a contract, and the people
Yeah.
that were currently
That-
working agreed to sell out the people that were going to come later in order to keep what they have or something. But I mean, they just
Well,
aren't getting the best
I
and
did
the
work at the
brightest.
post office for like one day a week for a year. That union is terrible. They just keep giving stuff back and giving stuff back and letting them increase the size of the routes, and it's ridiculous.
They aren't worth minimum wage.
I mean, it did pay well, but it wasn't minimum wage. Of course, that was what, back in 2010. So
Well, I don't
got a
know
suggestion for Phil.
I don't know the facts of this, but I remember hearing a report years ago about how I think the intent was certain elements of the government wanted to kind of starve it until it went away so that all mail and shipping would be privatized. And so they saddled the post office with like they have to fund their pension 75 years in advance or
It's
something.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, that no other business really. So anyway, they're not on a strong financial footing. And I guess the latest Postmaster General said, I'm going to keep it under budget. You aren't going to like
right.
what it's like, but I'm going to keep this under budget. And
Yeah.
now this is what we get.
Phil,
Mhm.
get
I
yourself
don't know.
some
We got some
BlackBerry
stuff today
brand.
from UPS. My wife got a package today from UPS,
Yeah.
and I don't know who packaged it to ship it, but it had 5 items in there. 3 of them were glass jars of jelly.
Hmm.
Guess how many jars of jelly made it in one piece?
One
Dude.
big combined jar.
Yeah.
No, got one. We got one, but we got one that's all over everything.
Yeah.
So it
Get
was
yourself
it
some
was-
BlackBerry.
Somebody
brand,
packed
Phil.
somebody
That'll take care
a
of that.
box about a foot square. A box about a foot square by about 10 inches.
Hmm.
Hey, well, I can show it to you. It's laying just right there, but it's a sticky mess. Anyway, they put 3 pint jars in here, half pint jars in here, and no padding, and then sent it UPS. Hey, Harold, this is for you. I mean, the box was all bent up. I said, well, I hope it's padded well, because if it's not, this is going to be a mess. And we opened it up.
All right. Look at that.
Oh, Lord, that is slick.
Steve, that's what your airplane is supposed to look like right there, standing wise.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
Are you going to set that one aside and start working on Steve's now, Sparky?
no.
No.
Yeah.
What grid are you sanding with there, Sparky?
800.
But it really the work was done before the 800. Probably it was the
Oh, yeah.
320 that made it good.
400. But that's the deal right there. And
The leveling.
yeah, I'm gonna sand the whole thing once more, and it gets another coat of thinned white paint. There's only half
So-
pint.
Not picking on them, but just to understand the difference. can we see Steve's? Can you set it up there and show us what you're talking about?
Oh,
Or
God.
Steve, do you not want him to? Like I said, I'm not trying to
No,
put you on the spot. I just kind of
Let's don't put Steve under the bus. He's still got to grade our test, Steve. Come on.
okay.
Well,
Sparky, I'm not trying to knock anything, but it's got a blue tint to it.
That's
no,
camera, something.
It looks pretty white on my screen. The
Looks blue
monitors
here.
seem like they'll mess with colors, I know.
it's
Yeah,
the
it
light.
must be it.
Well, I know
It
that
must be it.
Steve's Vector, when I got to see it in person, it didn't look anything like it was looking to me when I watched Sparky cover it. It's crazy
I
what
do see
monitors
what
will
Phil's
do.
talking about, though. It has something with the camera and the light.
Why is he hiding from me? Everybody hides from you every now and
Yeah, it's the light.
Yeah.
But I'm going over and
I bet Tightwad hadn't changed that dadgum ballast in that light yet.
no, I did.
Well, I don't know. The finish sure looks pretty, but it sure enough got a blue tint from here.
Yeah,
You can
well,
really see the
bluish-
white
bluish.
pinstripes and ghost flames on the white wing there. It looks nice.
yeah.
You heard that?
I'll get Steve's for you.
What are you talking about? Is this one of those that's going to be one of those? What is this page? The guy hasn't started yet. Well, that's a polar bear in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
right under a desk. Listen, if this is work related or something like that, I'm here. I will listen.
No, it's okay. Really, I have Manny that I can talk to.
Okay.
Well, the most important thing is that it flies good, Steve.
Right.
Can you finish? Can you get a 12-point finish off it, you think, by the time you're done?
Oh, I would hope, yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. 6 extra practice batteries, and you can make that 8 points of.
Mhm.
Yeah, the white, he's got the white on real thin on that cowling section there.
Yeah,
You can almost see the wood color through it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't see all the on the planks on the foam wing covering.
Look
Yeah,
at
you
look
might have to like get it just,
There's a
I can
bit-
see a
you
little
really
bit of
see a
waviness in
gap.
the flaps, maybe.
it's all over.
Yeah.
It just needs it needs a lot of sanding.
So would it have been, can you still sand it into shape, or did it have to have been done before you put the silk span on?
It needed to be done before the silk span is
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
but I could straighten it out, but it's going to add some weight.
That's a very generous offer, though. You should take them up on that,
I
Steve.
got piles of money.
No, yeah, that shape issue was
Oh, yeah.
that mistake was made long ago.
Well,
And
Mine looks about like yours.
looks a
Steve.
lot
I
better
don't-
than, looks better.
I
than
just figure
the
I'm not
does.
an expert flyer, so I don't try to be a 700 point. I mean a 700. I don't try to be a 20-point finish because I figure instead of doing that, I need to spend more time on the handle.
yeah,
But that sure is pretty. He's still a wild man. I don't care how pretty he paints a darn plane. He's still a wild man.
That looks like a Mustang, the way you got that canopy set up there.
Yeah, it does. This is it's
that
got nice lines on it.
yeah, is that paint on the cowling on the inside or the outside?
Both.
Oh, wow.
You see my stunt history book on there?
Yeah.
Isn't that the equivalent of texting and driving?
Yeah.
It's- there it
there's
is.
my
Now that's sharp. How did you get that reduced down that much? It's got to be a
How-
picture.
Hot water, he said. You wash it in real hot water and then put it in the dryer.
Yeah, for what that sucker, mine's sitting right there for what that thing cost. I ain't putting it in no hot water. Looks
Put it
good
in.
though, Sparky.
put it on top of my scanner, shrunk it down in Photoshop.
Wow.
You've done something like that before with a plane, a cockpit.
Yeah, my Continental.
Yeah,
My
the Continental's got something in it.
Steve, that dog is just cute.
Yeah, I know, and he's spoiled.
That's the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
If they're not, it's your fault. Oh, he's a dog baby.
Trying to figure out, is that a giant dust collector that Stuart's got there?
no, it's a bandsaw.
No, the red thing to the right of the bandsaw.
That's a dust collector.
Yeah.
Had one like that.
I think he's
Hey,
probably
Steve.
working on
Mine
making
was blue, but-
hockey sticks for the Canadian junior team, I bet. So they got a better chance next time.
Hey, Steve, why don't you come over Wednesday? Tomorrow I got to go to the bank.
Let's see what's got that going on.
Wednesday or Thursday, whatever.
Do you think I'll be able to find a parking place?
Maybe. I mean, the
You could take an Uber.
street is still clogged.
Yeah.
I can't hardly believe that, they don't plow my street because we got all these derelict cars on the side of the
Yeah.
road.
How many inches did y'all get?
I don't know. There's a foot on top of my car, but I think we only got about 6 inches.
I'm not too far from Sparky, and I would say we got about 2.5 inches of sleet and maybe 2.5 to 3 inches of snow on top of it.
You can have that. You can have that. We got about 2.25 inches maybe, but it was snow. There was a little bit of sleet on top of it. But I mean, first time you step on it or something, you crunch through it. It wasn't bad at all. But then on the other hand, I haven't been in the car in 3 days, so
The sleet wasn't bad. It was kind of like artificial snow. If you ever go skiing, it was like sea salt out there. It was still pretty loose if you got after it quick enough. If you let it sit overnight, then it was a pain. I only know because I had to do a snow removal at a couple of places. So I fought
Well,
with
there
it.
was a foot of ice on top of my car when I went out there.
Huh.
Steve, I got a good buddy that moved down here from Minneapolis. And we've been friends now about 3 years. Finally found out he knows my cousin that lives in Minneapolis. I said, well, how in the world does this work out? But he said he knew he was home when he stopped for gas. And somebody asked him, what's that thing in the back of his pickup truck? It was a snowblower. He said, I'm home. He sold his snowblower and bought a house.
Wow.
Not with the money from the snowblower, naturally, but
Could have
We had
He
a
lives in
super
Kernersville.
chat. We had a super chat from Roy Lane that said the time for me to reply has expired. Sorry about that, but that's his 10th super chat, and we thank you very much.
Part of the country uses more sausage, the other part uses more beef, because they're closer to cattle.
gracious. Oh boy, I'm getting chewed out because I didn't close the gate out there.
Uh-oh.
Oh well. Old dog will go out with her in a minute. Jack, go on. Let Kim take you out. Jack. Let Kim take you out.
So how are we getting on without the bird, Phil?
Well, I miss him, but it's just one of them things.
You can only imagine. For how long did you have him? Almost 20 years?
20 years. 20 years.
Jeez.
Had two of them till about a year ago, and then Riley died. Riley was the one that was really my buddy. Indy he was a derelict. I mean, he just wanted to be an ornery rascal until Riley died, and then all of a sudden he became the sweetie. But he'd come sit on my shoulder and just sit there. I could go to walk downstairs and work on the planes, whatever I want to do, and he just sat on my shoulder. But then the last year he's been having strokes and stuff, and he hadn't been able to do that. But ever after Riley died, he just sat on my shoulder, and whatever I wanted to do, he was cool with it. Neat bird. But anyway, all good things must come to an end, I guess.
Right.
So I got a pet cemetery in the backyard under a big tree. The funny thing is about it, when I was working for the city, I brought the tree home. It was about that big. I brought it home in a Dixie cup in my shirt pocket and planted it in my backyard. Now the thing's 40 feet tall, and I've forgotten what you call it, but it gets those great big blooms on it. I don't remember what, I don't know from trees. I can identify a pine tree, maybe. And identify a cedar. I hate those things. Every time I get into them, I get scratched. And once I get scratched by it, it gets infected. I hate those things. But anyway,
Did you guys check out my Amazon store? I finally got us the storefront open.
no, I didn't know it was up.
Yeah, I did.
Let me get you. No, you didn't. Did you check? When did you do it? Today?
Oh, no, I went to that link you had on your video and
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a link here, and it's going to show you something a little different.
oh, okay.
And it took quite a bit of doing to get it done. Let's see. Come on. My videos.
Robert likes playing with computers. I don't.
I do not like playing with computers, but it's a necessity, and we're switching servers again, and it's going to be a big deal here shortly. Because they're doing something, they're going from Linux to something else. And
Why would they leave Linux?
something better, I guess.
Yeah, they'll be back to Linux in 6 months.
Anyway. Okay, here is the, how do I chat here? Chat, there we go. We'll paste it in here, paste. Click on that link and tell me what you see.
Oh, it's Helmet Head from behind.
Yeah,
Airbrushes and sign making.
yeah, click on that. But you see all the pictures and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Airbrushes. Looks like an ironing board holder.
It's a piano stand that I use for holding up airplanes out at the field and working on airplanes. I put a splice of pool noodle and put it over the edge. And down at the bottom, I'm still working on loading that store. Down at the bottom, it says continue shopping with Stunt Hangar. It has sandpaper and glue and shit.
You even got Pootie up there.
Pootie, what's that?
Mackerel green Pootie.
Oh, Pootie, yeah.
1 in 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help.
See more from Stunt Hangar. It's video.
Lower prices.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that video down. It don't work.
And I don't see anything that says show more.
Down at the bottom left-hand corner, it'll say
Right
More
by the
from
video.
It's 2 videos.
Well, I like that low tack stencil though for $9.48. That's, I don't know how much they
Oh,
got.
there, okay. You click on the picture
yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
goes, okay, so there's the ball joint ends and the sandpaper and the tape. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just working on getting that going. But it looks a whole lot better than just a bunch of links.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't do that till I had 3 verified sales.
Ah, okay.
That bundle cutter looks nice. That's $439 though. US cutter 14-inch. That's kind of like what I've got.
Bob's got his
I can't
shop
think of the
up
name
on,
of it, but
Amazon now.
Because you
I
ordered.
like that Rock Jam,
Well, he had to have
the stand. That's pretty slick.
That
I bought something at the hobby shop that's made just for hauling airplanes. And
Sparky?
it's oh crap. I brought something else up. I won't do that.
Sparky, what's
It's,
the difference between the blue paper and the red paper, sandpaper?
none. It's both 3M. The blue is 80 grit and the red is 180, 320, 400.
Oh,
You can buy all the grits. When you click on any one of them, you can buy all the grits. If you just look, you can select the grit that you want.
I see. If you want to
Well,
stay at that 2 3/4 inch wide roll, you only can get 80 grit in the blue. When you go to different grits in the blue, it turns into those something with holes in it, I guess for a sander with a vacuum attachment, maybe.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Round discs.
I'm gonna get all the sandpaper in one spot. I just put that up. Every product that you're looking at there, I have bought and I recommend. I'm not going to recommend any products that I don't use. You know, they were saying, well, we got these bounties you can do, you know, and
Even these ladies' underwear I'm seeing.
yeah, sure. Ladies' underwear ain't in my store.
Oh wait, sorry, that was another window I had open. My mistake.
Yeah.
We got to keep a better eye on Steve. You know, he's a bachelor.
Yeah. You don't look too close, trust me.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna get the printer in there that I used, you know, the Epson printer that for making decals and the decal paper, and but
Now, that'll be handy. I've got the printer, but the decal paper would be handy.
they want me to share bounties, you know, they want to sell Kindle books and BS like, well, I don't use, I got one book in the bottom, the War on Conservatives. Just different shit, you know, and then they come up with hand warmers and just all kind of goofy shit that I ain't gonna put in my store.
I don't know what they've done to my dog, but he just went tearing through here.
And if you guys
I
think
see
I'm
what it-
getting rich at that, you're absolutely mistaken. I made $6 this week selling all that shit out of 15 orders, $6. So, you know, not much commission.
That's
Well,
more than
just
I
look-
would have thought. I would have thought they'd have been feeding you pennies. Now,
Better
I'm
than
not saying
nothing.
it's a lot. I'm just surprised that they're not giving you 6 cents.
It's better than
It's better
nothing.
than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll help me buy a roll of sandpaper every month, probably.
Over there.
Oh, Lord.
That's the pig.
I suppose if I had millions of people looking at it, you know, it'd be different.
What do you think? At what point is a guy able to make a full-time living on YouTube? How many subscribers you think? 100,000, 500,000?
Yeah, probably.
Or which of those two?
You probably could do it on 100,000.
Sunday morning breakfast club.
So I'm only 95,000 short.
Right. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. There ain't 100,000 control line flyers in the world.
Oh,
So when I was gone, you had.
I believe I got all the control line flyers already.
He loves it just like you.
Everybody loves the.
Now, if I could put on a red helmet and bare my butt.
dance around, wiggle
Yeah.
your butt.
Gary, wake up.
I'm awake. Wonder if Jack Snively is listening to us. I got his calendar back, his address, no address by it. So I think he got there last year. So I don't know whether he moved or whether he's not with us anymore or what.
No, he's around. I see him
Yeah.
on.
I thought so too. He must have moved. So
So what's it going to be, Steve? Is it going to be Wednesday or Thursday?
Either one is okay. You want me to call you Wednesday morning?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll see how it's going.
I got to go out tomorrow morning, so tomorrow's not good for me.
Okay.
It's not good for me that I got to go out either, but
That's all right.
Yeah, I gotta be up and take a car to the shop in the morning. Oh, Lord, here they come again. Anyway,
Take mine
Stuart,
Thursday.
you talking too much. What's going on, buddy?
Clearing this sanding dust from my throat.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, good luck. I tell you what, I keep trying to figure something to do that without having too much kick, and I haven't found anything yet.
the hangout is on.
35 degrees outside. Good grief.
Say
45 degrees is what you got?
Huh.
Yeah. It's what it is right now outside.
Heat wave at 17 degrees here.
Yeah.
Oof.
Or the other
It's
way.
like it was last. It's like it was last night. I went out to walk the dog, and before I got to the end of my yard, I made a mistake, opened my mouth, and took a deep breath. Like I say, I've had a sinus infection this week. Boy, you talk about hurting.
Mm.
It's like taking a big sip of something really cold. By
Hello.
the time I got back in the house, I was miserable.
25 here.
With your what?
It's 25 here. Bye.
Once again, you have to be logged into Stunt Hangar. You go to at the bench and click the link. That's it. It hasn't changed. All right. Bye. I need to have a set of instructions written down and taped to his computer.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Jonathan Carrodus is on his way in. Good
There we
deal.
go.
There you
There
go,
he
guys.
is.
Hey, John.
How are you, John?
Oh, getting there. Ripped my arm open a couple of weeks ago, just as we were going to the Nationals, and I've taken the bandages off, and it's healing up quite well. And I did a number on my leg as well at the same time when I went down, but it's all coming right. I don't do things by
Man,
halves.
you gotta quit. You've been in the hospital. You've been tore
Yeah.
up twice now. What
Yeah.
in the world, man? Take it easy.
Yeah, God. At least I don't have to put up with those fires in California.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Bloody
That
hell.
was a mess.
God almighty. That's just shocking, that. Just shocking.
I got some friends that, thank goodness, live in San Diego instead of LA. My sister lived in San Diego. My sister lived in San Francisco. Then I got some friends in San Diego, so on both sides of LA. But
Yeah.
thank goodness none of them live anywhere near the fires. But
Yeah.
what I've been hearing is you can see the smoke from the front yard.
Yeah.
You can hear the smoke from the front yard?
You can see the smoke from the front yard.
Oh, okay.
The weird thing about that is Jack lives up on a big valley, but you can get in the car and in 10 minutes you can be to the coast. He
Yeah.
lives by the high desert and you can be to the coast in 10 minutes. I forgot the name of the area, but it's down there near the naval base. And you can go, and I mean, it's a big naval base. And you go down there and be fishing in 30 minutes and catch fish. Something bay, I forgot the name of it. CRS has me bad.
Are those water scoopers and what have you, the water bombers, are they loading up salt water? The ones that are float planes, are they loading up on salt water?
They usually load up on fresh water because the ocean is too rough.
Yeah.
They could actually lose the plane in a big wave. So
Canadian
they
Canadian ones actually can pick up salt or fresh.
Yeah.
They have 4 planes up there. Actually, I don't know if you heard about this. Somebody had a drone and hit one of them, put a
Yeah.
big hole in the leading edge of the wing.
Yeah.
oh Lord.
So they
Yep.
had to ground the other 3 for, or I don't know how many they had to ground for half an hour because of it.
Yes.
Good grief.
It's like you didn't go through the cockpit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These drone
Didn't
pilots,
they?
I mean, somebody's got to grow some brains somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
Well, apparently one of the reservoirs was empty. And you got your fire season and they drained the reservoir. I mean, that's real forward thinking, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't say anything. They did that to High Rock Lake a few years back, and we went out, got on our mountain bikes, and later took out the 4-wheelers. It's a big lake, and rode around the lake taking pictures and mapping. And also, when it comes back, they filled it back up, and the bass fishing started out there again. We knew where to go to catch some good fish, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. But the day we went, the kids were playing baseball where we used to launch our boat.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Oh,
guys
well.
watching this channel here, I see that we got 8 likes. If you guys want to keep this one going, I expect you guys to at least like the program. That ain't asking a whole lot. Give it a thumbs up.
We make
That's
a
a good
comment
idea.
on the
Well, give me a
drone.
minute and I'll do that.
Make a comment on the drone in the firefighting airplane wing. The first, well, so the firefighters and the police are flying drones around a disaster like that. They're technically authorized to be doing that. So we don't know for sure it wasn't one of them. But if it wasn't one of them, what we do know is this new remote ID doesn't work.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
either the aircraft, well, I mean, so not to get too controversial here, but it's about like a gun law, right? The only people that are going to follow the gun law probably are not going to break a law with the gun in the first place. The same thing. If you're the type that's going to use remote ID like they tell you to and stay in authorized areas, you wouldn't be causing these kind of problems. So I don't know.
Well, you're up to 9, Sparky.
Yeah, not funny. Not funny at all.
But if it turns out that it was a, fire or police drone, we won't hear anything. They'll never tell you.
Oh no.
They'll act
no.
like they couldn't figure out who it was.
Well, there's 2 drones out here that have been flying around. You see them at night in the night sky. It's just 2 big bright white lights, and they sit there for an hour or so, and then they move about. I mean, it's not like they move just a little bit at a time. They both together, just you see them take off and move, and they flat move. But it's 2 government things, and they're looking for something. I know what it is, but I don't think I ought to say it on here.
Well, I think I know what you're going to say, but I've seen some explanations for why. Let's just say hypothetically, you might think they're looking for nuclear materials, but supposedly that's not.
That's not all they're looking for.
I've had it explained to my satisfaction that you couldn't find that stuff with a Geiger counter because it shouldn't be leaking radioactivity before it's detonated.
No, the stuff the rumor that I heard about the nuclear stuff, if it were able to be found from, I don't know how high up they are, 2,000 feet. But if it could be found that easy, they'd have found it by now. It's been 20 years. I mean, that's wherever they hid that stuff, it's well hid.
Well, what I want to know is, can one of those drones fly an F2D pattern? F2B pattern?
It could. It could.
I don't know.
All you got to do is swipe to take off, and it'll do it no problem.
You keep seeing these things on about UFOs, and you see these lights going zip, zap, zap all over the place. And I think to myself, people keep saying, oh, yeah, there's no aircraft that can do that. And yet, when we go up to fly up at our club, the helicopter guys, when they're up flying, the damn things go vertical, horizontal, left, right, up, down.
And do
They do
this.
exactly.
Yeah, the TikTok.
They do exactly what people say is impossible for man-made flight machines to carry out maneuvers, but they do it.
Well, I went to Triple Tree last year and was watching. I went down a day early so I could go down and help them with the get ready for the stunt school and the contest. And I was up at the RC side looking at some of the RC planes. And guys, there's guys that got model airplanes up there that got $30,000 to $100,000 in a model airplane with jet engines that are real jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they got helicopters do just what you're talking about, TikTok. And it just sits there and does that for about 20 seconds as a measured amount of time. And somebody will say, okay. And then the thing goes, shh, and you're trying to figure out, how the heck did it go that way? I have no idea, but I saw it do it.
Yeah.
It fascinated me. But anyway.
Like Fletch says, it's all ball bearings.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, these things, those rotor blades, when the guy landed, the one that was really amazing, when he landed that thing, he had carbon fiber rotor blades on that thing. They landed it, and his mechanics, two of them, picked the thing up, took it, and put it in the back of the truck, and they changed the rotor blades. One flight, one set of rotor blades. I asked what those blades cost. Oh, they're not bad. They're about $150 a piece. There's two of them.
Must have touched the ground with them.
No, he said that they just don't trust after doing that. They don't trust that they didn't crack them. So they'll take them and sell them cheap to somebody that just flies helicopters, just regular helicopters. Well, I hadn't either, but I said, my goodness, I think you're right. I think he must have hit something with it, because I don't believe you change $300 worth of blades just to change them. But anyway, whatever. But it was an amazing little helicopter. Electric now. Wasn't fuel, it was electric.
Yeah, the big power is electric with those things. They're way more powerful than the nitro or gasoline ones.
Well, boy, I'm telling you one thing. He took that thing, was doing this, and then he flipped it over, and took off. You could hardly follow the guys that knew what it was going to do. I'm sure could. But I'd be looking this way and it went that way. I'm sitting there, what the heck?
They use a 14S, 5,000 milliamp packs.
Wow.
And the motor about as big
All
around.
I
as
know
a
for
beer
sure
can.
is they were fun to watch. I watched them all one day, just about all one day. And then went down and watched the sailplanes. And I'm a sailplane guy anyway, but I watched the electric sailplanes. They were fun.
I didn't know they had soaring at the Joe Knoll.
They had about 4 guys out there that had sailplanes, and one of them is a guy that I used to know. So I walked by and I saw him, and I started asking about some of our old friends, and he's dead. He's dead. He's in a home. He's dead. I said, good God. That's the problem with living to be my age, is all your buddies, all my friends in modeling especially, have always been older than me. And now all of a sudden I'm one of the old ones. But anyway.
Well, don't worry, Phil. It'll soon be your time.
I know. You too, Bubba. You're older than I am. Only by a few months.
Are there any sailplane contests in your area, Phil?
Oh yeah, there's a few, but not many. Triple Tree has a big one in the fall. There's 2 in Georgia, 1 in Florida, 1 in Raleigh, North Carolina, I understand. But I keep missing it. I drove down there. Oh no, that was put off till next week because so-and-so's in the hospital.
Talking of sailplanes.
Do what?
Talking of sailplanes, have you seen that video clip? I don't know. A mate of mine put me onto it. He said he does a bit of gliding as well as control line. And he said it was first discovered or developed, probably not in New Zealand, but he said this guy in New Zealand pushed it. And it was when the glider goes over the back of a hill and then you want to get it back up. If you gain height behind the hill and then come sweeping down into the towards the hill again, you pick up tremendous speed.
Dynamic soaring.
Hey?
Dynamic soaring, is that what they call it in New Zealand?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
That's what they call it here.
And have you seen the video?
Oh yeah, was he up there? Oh, they're over 500 miles an hour now, aren't they?
They're doing 900 kilometers an hour, and the damn things go so fast you can't see them on the video. All you can hear is as it goes
Yeah.
past.
Well, it's basically just flying in a big circle in front of them about
Yeah.
that quick.
Yeah,
Well, they usually. Well,
Incredible.
I saw one that go up and they turn. He goes up and does a barrel roll or half a roll and comes back and does, and he's doing it so fast. Hell, it about made me dizzy watching them. I said, these guys
Yeah.
are nuts. But the guy that was the best flyer in the U.S. is now in New Zealand. He now lives and flies in New Zealand. He
okay.
comes back here. He comes back here for some contest. I can't think of his name. I got a guy in mind. I'm not sure I got the right guy. Joe Warts.
Yeah.
Warts
I
is
don't know.
Hey,
one of the best.
Sparky, if there's no songs or anything in this video, can I put it up for a second?
As long as there's no music on it.
Yeah, I don't think there is. Just wind noise.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
And just do it for a few minutes. I don't want it to play all the way through. Did somebody else's video?
Yeah.
Go copyright
Is it-
strike it. So
Am I sharing?
What?
There we go. We won't even be able to see the airplane probably.
No, I had trouble seeing it.
I'll try and track it with my mouse so you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
This is
Yeah,
the
that's dynamic
record here.
soaring. All right.
New world record right here. 554.
Yeah, I'd rather you don't play it because they'll give me a strike for it.
Broke the world record.
There it is.
There's Joe.
568 was the
Hi, Joe.
ultimate fast time.
Good afternoon, sir.
About
Yeah, that's
getting
the
on
first
late.
time I saw that. First time I saw that done, I couldn't believe it.
Bitch.
That's something else. I can't believe those wings stay together.
Yeah, incredible.
Hello, iPad.
Oh,
Hello, Robert.
What's up, iPad?
All is well on our road. The snow is gone.
Ah, ours
Joe, you're
isn't.
gonna have to give us a secret. I saw you call Sparky while he was streaming and he didn't get mad.
I didn't
What?
know. I didn't know about his streaming thing. I had to apologize. I didn't know he did all that. That's cool. I'm just checking on him.
Oh, okay.
We need to keep a close eye on him. He's
They've had plenty of snow up there in cold weather. I doubt they've done a whole lot of flying.
no, we're not doing a whole lot either, but a lot of us building new airplanes, but it's gonna be should be a nice season this coming year.
You know why I don't get upset when Joe calls me? It ain't very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are you gonna say because he's calling to tell you he's sending money maybe or something?
That'd be good too.
No. I just checking. He was having a snowstorm up there, I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
We did.
You had any more earthquakes, Joe?
Say again?
Had any more earthquakes? I
No,
remember
no
watching
more
you a couple of
earthquakes.
months ago.
Wait a minute.
No,
Oh.
not yet.
Place shook. Yeah.
No fires, no earthquakes. Everything's wonderful. It's
How's
good.
your- how's your-
Where do you live? Utah. Are you in Utah, Joe?
Oklahoma.
I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Which is close to Utah.
Yeah, right.
How's your
1,700
crankshaft
miles from Utah.
You're sure they're not testing bombs again?
No, that's
No.
see, Oklahoma's part of Texas.
Okay.
Ooh.
How you gonna keep-
Oh, you're gonna get cussed out.
yeah, that was Utah would have been easier.
Okies
to
don't
tell
like
me.
that.
How's your
Oh.
crankshaft end play doing?
I think that's right above Arkansas, but I ain't sure.
You know, I've flown it about 4 hours, and I'm annual it right now. I'm gonna annual at the end of this month, so I'll be February next year. I had 2 airplanes come up in January, and that's too much. So I'm gonna prolong the chippy to February and annual it and fly it some more. Steve, it seems fine. I've run it and flown it, and I just think the old burger's just on the tight side of everything. Just on the tight side. Oil pressure's good. Nothing in the Kuno filters. Starts good, runs good.
Just run, it'll eat up what it doesn't want.
There you go.
It'll be fine.
That's right.
Hey guys, got a technical question for everybody, if you're up to that.
Let it rip.
See how technical it is.
I've got an airplane that flies well in all respects, except that it turns much tighter insides than outside.
Inside than outside.
And I'm thinking about trying with a hard point handle, biasing the length of the, what would I call it?
Point the motor up or down. Thrust lines off.
Can I ask a dumb question? When you're flying the airplane and you just fly level laps and you really, really concentrate, fly level laps and do 5 or 6, fly it level as you can fly it, and then turn it over, Mike, and fly it inverted. Which way's harder to fly level?
Well, as I recall, it's been quite a while since I've flown it, but both it tracks really well.
Well, then that ain't the flaps. Usually that's a flap issue. And whichever way it's a little more unstable, the flaps will be pointed toward the sky. And if the flaps are off, the one side loops are really nice. The other side loops, you have to chase it all the time to make it round. And you usually fly through your intersections on an 8 because the flaps are late, not giving you lift, and you'll slide right through an intersection. So go fly it and really, really, really pay attention to that.
I will really, and I'll check it out before
really pay attention. Before you move that handle, make sure you got the same amount of turn both ways. And if you do an 8 and the insides are easy and the outsides are sliding and you can't get back to the intersection, the flaps are down to the elevator. So when you give it up, you got lots of flaps and it's groovy. On the outsides, the flaps are late, the elevator's driving it, and it's skidding. And you'll see whichever way it's like that, when it's unstable, in my opinion, the flaps are toward the sky.
See, the way I understood it, it turns harder one way than the other, right?
It'll turn hard. If the flaps are late on the outsides, it'll snap the turn, but it slides through it. It snaps the turn, but it'll slide through before it catches. And the insides are groovy and round. The turn's really groovy and straight. When you release it, it flies off quick.
Well, there are a couple of things that I think I'm doing wrong. And one of those is I'll start the like a figure 8 right in front of me, do the inside, and then I go to do the outside. And I have a tendency to put my thumb on top of the handle, thinking I need more leverage, I guess. And then I end up trying to see around my hand to steer the airplane, if that makes any sense. So I think I can change that. But on biasing the handle, I'm talking about lengthening the pivot point from the handle. Does that make sense?
I that can be done, but that's dangerous in my opinion.
That slows it down. Whatever
you're changing your feel.
You probably think it's going to go faster if you lengthen it up. No, it slows it down.
Well, that's actually what I'm trying to do, is slow it down.
Okay, whatever.
Make it a smaller maneuver.
Well, then you need to make it further down to make it act quicker.
Right.
But which one would I do if I wanted it to affect the outsides?
If you want the outsides quicker, in my opinion, move it down a hole on a hard point, or roll the handle forward where you get more down. Say if you make it shorter and roll the handle this way, then your down's way more active, but your up will be, you have to fight to get your up.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You can go down and not mess your neutral up and make the outsides quicker by moving it down on there's lots of handles that can do that. I don't know what you're flying with.
Well, I think I maybe have the spacing, some differential by a hole or two already.
To me, that's dangerous. I try to fix the airplane where my handle movement this much up, that much up, and that much down's down. But it don't always, that all's hard. There's no simple answer for that. And having your thumb on the top or the side, there's people done it every which way but loose, whatever works for you. But for me, if my handle's sitting like this, my up's going to be lazy and my down's going to be cat quick. And if I'm leaning this way, my up's cat quick and my down's lazy. That neutral needs to be really, really, really where the same amount of movement gets you the same response for me.
It was really kind of funny. I crashed this airplane, and it's a Tudor 2 is what it is. And basically what it did, well, I decided to do one more inside loop with it, did 4 instead of 3, and it blew out of the bottom of the 4th one and ended up scattered across the ground like it was unkitted, like it was unkitted. The flaps came off, and I mean, just a bunch of stuff. When I put it back together, it actually flew better than it had when I took it apart. When I crashed it, it really did. And I, go figure. But came out good, still flies well. You wouldn't want to look at the bottom of the airplane because when I got it set up on the bench the way I wanted it, then I realized I couldn't turn it over to deal with the epoxy running all over the place. And so that's a mess. But
it's an airplane. Fly it and enjoy it. That's all.
That's it.
Sometimes they fly better after you've scared the hell out of them.
Yeah, there you go.
Put them in the healing corner and heal them up. They fly better.
Big Joe. Joe.
Yes.
Say hello to the pretty
Girl behind you. I've seen Colleen go by you about 6 times. Tell her hello. We never get to say hey to her. Say, hey, Colleen.
She's working. She's fiddling with something. Who knows what?
That woman is always working.
She don't sit still very long.
No, she don't. Even in a contest, she don't.
We got any Bearcat updates?
Yes.
Oh
yeah, I saw a picture of it earlier today. It was in one piece.
It's awesome.
Well,
it looks great. It looks great.
That Gary's Bearcat you're talking about?
There you go.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, last week I was working on the cowling. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So last week I was working on the cowling and I made these inserts for the screws that go in the cowling. There's the cowling before I cut it down. So I fitted it on there. And here's one of the holes I made for the insert. There's the insert in it with the screw. So here's after I put all 8 of them in and sanded them down.
You ain't right, dude.
So then I had to do the cutouts for the engine and the
holy cow
muffler and the uniflow vent or the uniflow tube here.
Pressure.
Now it looks really good, but how much distance do you have between the muffler and the cowl? It looks like it's right on.
Oh, it's probably about a 1/16 of an inch all around. You can't from this angle. It looks really, really snug, but if you look at it from the end, it's not quite so bad.
Can you get your 8 drops of fuel in the Venturi you talk about to prime it?
I've never needed to drop fuel into the Venturi because it's upside down when you start it. But I just put my finger in there and do a couple of partial flips of the prop, and it goes.
Good show.
Real easy to start.
It's beautiful. Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, it looks nice.
That is.
Anyway, here's the
Masterful
top
piece of work.
I cut out the cockpit
I love
opening,
your pilot.
and I sanded down the canopy so I could get it to fit right.
Is he going to outer space or what?
41,000 feet.
He's gone above 10,000 feet, so he needs oxygen. Anyway.
Yeah.
There it is, all
There
put
it is.
together. So
Wow.
There it is. That is cool.
look
That
at
is
There's
it.
only-
just beautiful.
There's one thing wrong with that airplane right there.
It ain't
What is
It's
it,
not
yours.
Joe?
sitting in my
It ain't
basement.
mine. It ain't mine. Holy
That's
cow,
it.
that's impressive.
He cheated
Man,
on the landing gear. He used his landing gear from the other airplane.
That's
Yep.
all right. He's allowed.
There's some blue parts on it though, from the previous version. I mean, Spark, you can see the opening here is a little bit bigger from this angle.
I can't see it. But, you know, if you got a 16th, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I didn't have any trouble last time. It's about the same clearance.
I just,
And here's another angle. So
was wondering, you know, some people try to make it look cool and it's right on top of it and it burns the crap out of the paint.
Mhm.
yeah, understand.
Incredible, Mark.
So
That is incredible, Mark.
now all I have to do is finish it.
So what's that, about
Yeah,
8 months? Will be done next year?
Yeah.
Now
You've
he'll
done time
have
for
that. He'll
Brodax.
have that at Brodax in June. You wait and
He
see.
ain't going.
Yeah, I'm not going to make Brodax this year, but I
You're
don't
not?
think I don't
Oh,
think it'd be quite
shucks.
ready anyway.
Oh man, that's a sin.
No, we got a family cruise plan for that.
Oh,
for
that's
June.
awesome. That's all right.
Yeah, we'll forgive you this one then.
My son did some more bad scheduling, and anyway, I might have it ready for the nets, but I don't, since we're going to be cruising in June, I won't be able to work on it then. So it may be later in the summer, but it'll be coming along here.
You gonna
Don't be
fly
long.
that in open?
No. I just flew it in classic. Last 2 years ago when I had my first one, I flew it in classic.
Uh-huh.
This one
Man,
really
that's
looks nice.
it just
It's
I know
49. It's 49 ounces, which is about right where my other one was.
can you do it in 6? Can you finish it in 6 ounces, you think?
No
No.
way.
Last time it weighed 63 when I was all done, including the nose weight and some tip weight.
That's about what mine weighed, 62.
It's not
So-
that big an airplane. What is it? 580
No,
square
it's
inch,
not.
maybe?
Yeah, it's only 585, I think, square inches,
Yeah,
but
it's not
this thick wing with the big
a lot of
flaps
flap. A lot of
gives
flap.
you tons of lift. And I never had any trouble with it not cornering.
Looks like a third of the wing area is flap.
It's a good
It's
bit.
it's about
Just
almost
about.
25%. I calculated it. So
Well, Mark, it is beautiful.
It's
I gotta
I got to get
magnificent.
out of here and go take my dog. I'll be back in a bit, but I'm telling you, that is really pretty.
It's
all right, that's
magnificent.
where the Bearcat stands. I got to do some other work right now on my other planes for VSC, but I'll be getting back to it soon and start working on the finish.
We got
Someday
our,
I'll learn how to do it like that.
yeah, right. We got our reservations for Tucson. So Mark, you're going to Tucson for sure?
Yep,
Good. Us too.
made my hotel reservations this week.
We did too. Sure did. So Steve, the line maker, did you get all that figured out well? Outstanding. Good show.
Yep.
That machine makes it nice, doesn't it?
Well, I had them made before I got that thing from Bob, but I've many more to do. So
Good. Good.
many more to do. Caffeine.
Caffeine.
Not in the car.
Not in the car, yeah. Good one.
I think now that he has 2 kids, the wife stays put pretty well. He can get some time to sneak into this room, maybe.
Good show.
Yep.
How is baby number 2?
He's doing good. Yeah,
Is he flying yet?
I was gonna say, is he flying yet?
no, well, I did fly last weekend, so that was good.
Now you got to get him flying at 3 years old. I wonder what the
Yeah, I
young
will.
control line guy is flying.
Bob Hunt probably. Didn't he brag he's flying at 28 months or something? I don't. He's real little.
Yeah, he has a story about that.
Yeah, he has a story about that. Real little.
We got to beat that, Caffeine. Whatever Bob tells you, you got to get him before then.
Just hold him
Yeah.
and fly him, and just brag about it. It's all hold it up and take a picture.
Is that a nice glass of ice water, Mark, that you got there?
Yep. Not gin or vodka, it's water.
Oh, okay. That's no fun.
Does anybody remember the Ken High airplanes, the Cougar and the Panther?
Oh, yeah.
I got a Cougar out in the garage ready to cover. Matter of fact, the wing's that thick on it, but it's okay.
I've got one out in the garage that somebody else built. And the more I look at it, the more I think he had no idea what he was doing. And I bought it because it had a Fox 35 in it I wanted. And I bought it along with a bunch of other stuff. But it's weird. It's part of the fuselage is painted, but it has solid wire lead outs on it. They aren't bent. It's like he was, I don't know, finishing things in spurts. And I think I'm going to have to open it up to be sure that the Bellcrank is secure and all of that. And then I'd like to mount it with an inverted engine. So that may be a project for me to be working on when things warm up.
Isn't that the one that has a scoop on top of the canopy?
My
No.
Cougar's upright engine. It's upright, skinny winged.
Oh, I'm thinking of a Cobra.
That's a 60 size Cougar.
Could be. Yeah, I bet
No,
Steve's
that's an RC joke. SIG had an airplane called a Cougar.
Oh.
Cobra. They were RC airplanes. Spelled with a K.
Okay, no. Ken High had a Cougar and a you said it a while ago.
Panther.
Panther and a Mustang too.
Yes, a Ken High Mustang. But the wingtip rib is, I bet it's not 1.125 on that. The wing's highly tapered, but it's not a thick wing. It's going to need to fly on speed, I think. But that's what they did back then.
Yeah. Hey,
With respect
Sparky.
to- I was just going to say, with respect to that airplane turns tighter one way than the other. Does up line in front or the down line in front, does that have any impact on stuff like that at all?
No.
I don't think so. I think if the front line's the down, it's not a bad thing. But if you're one line in the airplane, well, then you might get a little out. But when you're flying an airplane and giving it control, I'd like to know the difference in the line pressures at the Bellcrank. When you do a normal maneuver and you move the lead outs, let's just say you move them 3/4 inch, but you're not one lined. There is a difference in the pressure on those lines. Right. But is it ounces? How much difference is it? It's not, there's not a lot of, if you one line it, well, then you can make it get more pressure, of course, but there's no.
You build a handle with some load cells in it.
It'd be interesting to do that when your fingers and know what it's really. I like my airplanes where they don't fight me. They just turn, bam, bam. And I don't know. The front lead out the front, I think is a good thing, but it's not going to make you win the Nats if that's all you do different.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's where mine is set up is set up with the upline on the back.
Where it's supposed to be.
That's better, I think.
Yeah.
I've got them both ways. And
why do you say that's where it's supposed to be?
Because that's the way the normal way to put a Bellcrank in. With a push rod to the outside of the center hole makes the up line in the back.
And the down line in the front where you got, if you do have any more difference, it's going to go out on the down, technically.
All you got to do is think about it this way. When you give up and you pull on the back line, it's pivoting out like this. If you pull on the front line, it's trying to turn it in on you. You don't want that. So on the down, it trust me, it's better with the up line in the back.
Doesn't the precession cause it to pitch out when it pitches up and to pitch in when it pitches down?
Yes.
Correct.
So it seems like you'd want them the other way then. You'd want
Yeah, well,
you'd want the
try it,
lines that
find out. I've done
No.
it both ways, and trust me, it's better to have the upline in the
If the,
back.
if the lead outs are in the front, you give it down and it does want to turn, at least that pivot point might be a kiss further forward to help it want to go out from centrifugal force. It's not going to make you win the Nats having it one way or the other. There's more to it than that. Having that bell crank where half inch of movement on each end moves the same amount on the flaps, that's a big deal too. Getting that bell crank in there where the same movement gives you the same degrees of flap movement. I've never ever got one within a degree and a half of the same. If I got 36 up, 30 down, and I have 37 down and 31 up. I've never had them perfect. And there's a way, but I'm not qualified to tell you how to do it.
I'm really surprised that I see people building in access hatches so that you can get to that stuff and manipulate it and adjust it. And the fact that you roll the dice once when you build the airplane and seal the wing and cross your fingers and hope it's going to be good. That seems weird to me.
I spend a lot of time with the wing and the flaps on it. And I set my bell crank where I think it should be. And I'll mark my lead outs with a piece of tape, neutral. Then I'll mark 1 inch carefully or 3/4 inch carefully. And I'll move it 3/4 inch and I'll measure the flap movement. Then I'll measure the other way, the same 3/4. And I try to get that where that flap goes the same degrees up and down with the same movement.
So
It's pretty hard to do, y'all.
are you usually is the lead out position where it exits the wing? Do you know that pretty close when you're building the airplane, or is that
I sure shoot for that. Yeah. Usually
20 behind the center,
20
plotted center of
25.
gravity.
Yeah, 25% on me at the roots, right? That's my goal. That's my starting point.
Because I guess if you're changing that very much, then that's going to change the equivalency.
It will, absolutely will. You're right, Steve. Howard Rush has a program. He talked about that one night for a while, and
Yeah.
I am not smart enough to make that work.
I've used it and it works. I mean,
I'm sure, but I'm not smart enough. But all that's important, y'all. It is. It's important. Where you put the bell crank, east and west and north and south, and the rod angle back to the flap, all that means something. It really does.
No, it doesn't. Ask Andy. We had that big argument. No, it doesn't. You put the bell crank anywhere you want. Just ask Howard Rush.
Not if you want to have the degrees of flaps work the same amount both ways
Yeah.
on up and down.
It does make a difference. Trust me. I
On
know.
that it does.
It makes a difference the way the airplane feels too.
It's for real. Howard would Mark, tell them about it. You've dealt with that.
well, the program is a big Excel spreadsheet, and you put in the position of the bell crank, the length of the bell crank, the position of the flap horn, the length of the flap horn, all that stuff, all the angles. There's a whole lot of inputs.
Yes.
And
I just go,
if you don't, I did the CAD on my Bearcat, so I had all the numbers really accurately from the CAD drawing, which you may not have if you haven't, if you're trying to build from paper plans or if you have a kit, it may be hard to get all that data easily. And then you run it, it generates curves, and it shows basically how linear it is. And if you can adjust the different parameters until you get as straight a line as possible to make it as linear as possible. And that way you get nice uniform action both ways. And that's how I did the Bearcat, and it worked out pretty well.
So by linear, Gary, you mean your input is consistent with the output. It's constantly proportional.
Right, exactly. You get a straight line.
Yeah. It doesn't
So
slow
you're getting
down or
any-
speed up as it turns.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some magic right there. There really
Oh,
is.
yeah. Yeah, it's a dark art.
And then, you know, some people don't like to have a straight line. They like to have less action at the beginning and or later. Some like to do it the other way around.
What do you
Yeah,
show?
so when you panic, you're getting full throttle on your controls.
And what's his name over in Austria? The world champion. He's got that special mechanism he uses.
Rube Goldberg mousetrap.
Hey,
Oh, look at that.
oh,
Oh, I love it.
I got a question. This is these Sterling, they're known to be quite heavy, aren't they?
Yep.
That's what I thought. What other in the back in the day, what were the other companies that made the Ringmaster?
Nobody else.
Nobody that I know of.
Okay, I thought there was 2 or 3.
Estes
Sterling
made one.
made-
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Well, Sterling made many different versions, but they had the S1, which is the one you got there in the box, was the one they made the most of. I think they made several 100,000 of those
Mm-hmm.
over the years.
Estes made one, but it wasn't a legal old time airplane.
Was
It had a
rocket powered?
No,
no. It was,
Estes bought what was left of Sterling, I think.
I think so. And they changed the design a little
Then
bit.
I think Revell or Monogram bought Estes for a while. Then
That may be right too.
then Estes family bought it back. The Estes family owns them again. If you guys are into rockets,
Anyway, I think there are at least 7 different versions of the Ringmaster. Al Heger had all 7 of them built. Really nice collection of airplanes, and it got destroyed by a dust devil in Tucson about 10 years ago.
Then there's those giant ringmasters at Brodak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris Brainerd has one here in Colorado he built. I think the wingspan's like 6 feet on it.
Oh my goodness.
how big is Fred's? It's double size or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. More than double, I think.
Hey, Joe.
80
Yes.
inches, I think it is.
The Nats, what did you fly with?
My Ringmaster, it's an S1 and it was a RSM ribs. Then I scratch built everything else.
What was that picture, Caffeine? You look like you're 16 in the picture you just showed us.
What's that?
Before you came in, there was a picture of you. It looked like when you were younger.
No.
Or maybe just with your hair combed nice or something.
That's his prison getup.
Well, I guess it's because the mustache and the beard.
Oh, it's like your business look.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to have one of those.
Hey Steve, did you get the money back?
I did. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool.
It's a bummer that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like your business look.
hey, Sparky,
Yeah.
what time do you start your live stream on Fridays?
Same time I always start it. 7 o'clock
Okay.
Central.
Okay, I think I might join you this Friday.
Cha-cha.
No, he's not going to be doing it Friday, are you, Sparky?
Yeah,
What
I
time
do not do a hangout. I do an hour program, one-on-one. I bring in a guest or two or whatever.
join you this-
Okay.
Cha-cha.
No, he's not going to be doing it Friday, are you, Sparky?
Yeah, I do not do it. Yeah, somebody had a loop going there.
Lost somebody.
Must have been Cha-Cha.
He's
Cha-Cha,
muted.
you probably got a window open. You need to close down YouTube window.
that Sterling kit, you can build those. They'll fly. The leading edges are heavy on them sometimes.
Well, the one I
Yeah.
built
I looked
from
at
one of
that.
those kits exactly like he's got there was about 40 ounces when it was all
Oh
done.
my gosh.
Well, I was gonna weigh this. Let me just for curiosity, I'll look at the
You got a router table there, don't you?
yeah.
All you gotta do is take a 1 inch by 2 inch piece of wood and run it through the 2 inch, and that way you'll get a 1 inch straight piece, out of it with a profile bit.
I've got a Sterling kit out in the garage that weighed 26 ounces with the FP25 on it. That's about a lot. That's typically as light as you're going to do with the
That's
Sterling
pretty good,
kit.
yeah.
With the
Good
Sterling
kit.
kit, that's about as good as you're going to do.
Yeah.
That one's 40. That's an old kit.
20.8.
40.8. Oh my goodness.
20.8.
That will build up good then. Because
Yeah.
that's 20.8 that box everything. So you're going to lose some. That'll build up plenty good.
Yeah. Would you use different wheels on this? And I'm not sure if I'm gonna build this, but
I'd use wheels, whatever it took to make the center of balance right, the gravity,
okay.
Kid, when we were kids, we didn't run no wheels on them.
Just chunk them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if I'm gonna build it yet or what I'm gonna do.
Well, if it's 20 ounces and there's only 20 ounces box and all, so there can't be but 16 or 17 ounces airplane there.
The problem is that it's all the tail feathers.
Had the ribs punched out. I don't know if they come loose or not. Do they come in a sheet and you have to punch them out? These are already loose.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
It may be a little lighter that way.
Yeah, it would be.
Somebody's been into it. So
On my leading edge, between the ribs, I bathtubed it. Hollowed out between the ribs. Left the ribs
yeah, I see what
solid,
you're saying.
and then put a bathtub between each rib.
Yeah, so you basically cut it all.
That's right. Hollowed it out between the ribs, but left the ribs solid.
That's what Paul's doing on his half a ton stabilizer there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was asking him how light he's got that thing now.
Yeah, it's probably 40 ounces.
I got this down to 82 grams. I did some whittling on it. It is what it is.
That you just fly it, dude.
Yeah.
82. That's still pretty heavy.
That's 3 ounces. No. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
2.5. At this point, you've put it together. Put a Super Tiger 51 in the front of that pig and fly it.
Well, somebody told me today, and Brett Williams did. He said Gordon said, I think the hinge line to hinge line's like, I forgot what he said on the thread there, like 16 and something inches. So it sounds like maybe I'll be able to move this forward a little bit. But everything I've read on it, everybody's like, you got to add tail weight to these Pathfinders. So
yeah, don't worry about it.
And Gordon is flying his latest one with a Stalker 51. He told me last week.
Yeah. Are you building a profile, Paul?
yeah, it's the profile Pathfinder. I changed I put wingtips on it. I changed the wingtips on it. That's about all I did to it. And it's going to be electric.
Oh, electric. I don't experience at that. See, for me, I'd put a Super Tiger 51 on that pig and I'd make sure it was nose heavy.
Oh, it's going to have plenty of power. It's going to have, it's 35 series Cobra motor, so it'll have plenty of punch.
Build it and go on with it. It'll be okay. Bring it to Tulsa. I'll help you trim that rascal out. It'd be fun. I'd learn something.
I'd learn something. I wished I knew half the stuff you've probably forgotten.
You do know more than I do.
We were talking about, Gordon was talking about that airplane last week after everybody was gone. Me, him, and Gary. And he said he makes the tail an inch taller now, the vertical tail.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was kind of taken off right after he said that, so I didn't get to ask him to tell me why.
He had a reason. Hourglass, probably,
Huh.
be my guess.
I'll tell you what, that Tulsa contest is a fun contest.
You're being kind.
All right. Do you have fun, Steve?
I did, yeah.
And Steve, both of them worked for us. Both
Now,
of them judged.
Was it the contest that was fun or the trip to the strip club?
There wasn't no strip club involved.
No, they told me about it. Your secret's out now.
I think we need a barbecue there, though.
It's just people to do it, Robert.
I know.
Colleen, usually we like to just Friday afternoon. It's fun to get together and eat, but if you leave the field, there's too many people want to play. So it's typically better just. Colleen's made lasagna in the past and stuff, and just stay at the field and feed everybody and fly and visit. That's what you're there for, is to fly and visit.
Is that always not the weekend right after, but 2 weekends after Broken Arrow? Is that classically when that hits?
It's the last full weekend of September.
Don't let that lady from Oklahoma hear you talk about Broken Arrow. She about took my head off. Broken Arrow's in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's the last full weekend, Steve. So if the 30th and 31st was the last weekend, that'd be it. If it was the 26th or 8th or 22nd or 3rd, the last full weekend of September. And I think yours is the weekend before, isn't it, Robert?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the weekend before. And that's a good contest.
Discretion is the better part of valor. I've lost an airplane in the wind there. It's very breezy.
It can be. Don't fly on long lines and don't try to fly slow, would be my recommendation. It's sometimes I think it's been good for me to fly there, Robert, because you got to have a good trimmed airplane. You got to have line tension there. And when you travel around the country, you're going to find that it's good to have line tension. It really is.
That year I crashed my jet, you couldn't have flown that jet without hitting the ground.
It wasn't right, huh?
Well, it was blowing so hard I was one lining on the inside loop.
That's a bad thing. That was at the other field too, remember?
Right. That's when Bill Wilson was there.
Bill Wilson. That was probably 06 or 07, I would guess.
Probably. Richard Oliver was there. Wilson was there.
Gleason's and Bowman and big crew. I was flying the T6 and T6 and Noblers in those days. I know I landed the T6 and it tumped over downwind, and D Hill gave me no appearance points, or not appearance points. What do you call it, points? Pattern points, because it tumped over. I said, dude, it's blowing 15. It blew over downwind. Well, that's your fault. Well, okay then.
Was that in somebody's backyard or was that a park?
That was in a backyard of Jerry Neefus's. Jerry Neefus owned that house south. If you looked out across there, that house to the south, that was a Neefus family land right there. And they wanted to sell it, so we moved. And then it didn't sell for 10 or 12 years, but that was a family thing. They let us use it for nothing, of course. And then now we're at Bob's place.
Is Dale Gleason still flying?
I don't know if he's flying much. He's still around.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's still got airplanes.
I wonder what happened to him. He used to call me about twice a month.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Dale's doing okay, I think. Last I heard, don't you think, Colleen?
Yeah.
They're doing fine.
Hey, Colleen.
Hey, Paul.
Colleen is the premier line unwinder.
Yeah. She saved Sparky's lines one time. Or John. It could have been John's even, she thought. Missed that rascal too.
At this stage of the game, in my finish, I miss him a lot because I used to take it over and say, hey, find the mistakes. And then he'd point them out.
It's happening. It's happening to all of us. Except Cha-Cha. He's still young. And Kafkin. They're the young ones of the bunch. Kafkin and Cha-Cha.
That's caffeine, not caffeine.
Caffeine. Caffeine and, well, his name's Christian, but they call him Cha-Cha.
Hey, Paul.
Coffee.
Paul, are
Yeah.
you looks like you're sanding those holes in the tailplane.
Yep, I was telling him I did some whittling on it, so I got it down to 82 grams.
I know, I just noticed you putting a bit of attention on those holes with the sandpaper or something in your hand there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of breaking the edge on them a little bit.
Yeah. If you overdo it, what are you covering it with?
Oh, it's going to be monocoat.
Oh, okay. Probably won't happen. But if you use, excuse me, silk or silk span or tissue, I find if you round those, countersunk them slightly, the dope will pull in, will suck them down into a crater. So
Yeah.
you want to leave them real sharp on the edge, but clean, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, just a thought.
Yeah. I don't know if the monocoat will do that, but
No, the monocoat shouldn't do that.
Are you talking about the top of the rib?
No.
No, I did 4 little holes right here on the plate.
4 holes in the root.
Oh, because I round over everything. Otherwise, it leaves a sharp line. It looks like shit.
Yeah, or it'll crater and it'll look like shit too. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
That's
as
anyway.
Joe Gilbert says, it's going to be a tool.
I'm going to use it.
It's going to be a tool.
Fly stolen.
Yep. But I am trying to sand down and make the inside look pretty. That's what Jimmy told me to do. So
It's all good.
yep.
Jimmy,
Got as good inside as it does outside.
Yep.
Paul, if it's too heavy when you're finished, just put it through a planer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you cut a 16th out of that sucker, it'd get lighter, but it might. Stiffness is more important than weight.
Yeah,
that sucker's got to be stiff, in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I don't know if it was this piece, but it was either this or on one of the elevators. I couldn't even get my hinge tool in there to cut a slot. I had to drill a couple of holes just to get a.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
it's gonna be strong.
Yeah, when I took it out of the box, I'm like, is that even balsa wood? It looks like maple.
This is Mihail Kataran, a guy.
It's amazing how much the density can change in the same piece of wood.
You know, he's talking about that today. I stripped out some 1/16 pieces to build a little rubber band airplane, and you could take that 36-inch piece and handle it in different places, and different places of that little strip of wood stiffer than others. I thought, ain't that something? You could see it plain as day. This handling, you could feel it. Look at that, it bows. Oh, that doesn't bow as much there. So I used the stronger parts for the long pieces and the weaker parts for the longerons, right, wrong, or indifferent.
You know, that's why when you build 2 airplanes identical, they don't fly the same, right?
Things change. A
I
stunt
was
ship's
talking about
hard to
that
build.
today on my stream. It's wood density. This is a living thing. It will always try to follow the sun. You know, in the same piece of wood, the hardness can go from super hard to super soft. And I also mentioned that I worked on a framing crew in the desert one time. The guy bought green lumber, and we framed up a house. And by the end of the day, it had made about a 10-degree turn following the sun.
On the sun. Oh my goodness. Put the sides on it in the dark where we stay straight.
Yeah.
It was looking for water, Sparky.
Yep, looking for water. Fair enough.
That's true with full-scale airplanes too. No two of them fly the same. They just don't. I mean, I've had 172s that I really liked and other ones that I hated.
How you tension the cables can make a difference, in my opinion, on that. Even Mike, this tension on the cables can be different. Where one's lazy and one's a little quicker. If one's got loose cables going places, it's not as responsive.
The only
So what
time
you're saying is,
I've had two of them that flew the same. It was flying out of Ashland, and they had two 172s that were line numbers just one number apart. So they were built one after the other, and they both floated like crazy on landing, to the point where everybody that flew out of there knew that if you flatten the tire on landing, I mean, ground it down, you were going to be buying new tires for that airplane. And they both did the same thing. Yeah, and other than that, they flew the same. So just strange.
Trimmings for real and everything. When I built my Rans, I bought one of these little smart levels. Well, it's been 25 years ago. Digital levels, it had a digital on it. I thought I was going to be so smart. And I leveled the fuselage and started trimming the tail feathers to make them twist right this way and this way. And I was doing the wires and kept messing with it. And I could only get it 1 degree. 1 degree is the closest I could get it. And I called the factory and told him what I was doing. He started laughing at me. He says, Joe, it goes 100 miles an hour. If it's 3 degrees off, you won't know the difference. Good enough.
Wow.
So I think on our model airplanes, what do we fly? 55, 56 miles an hour.
Something
It's
like
not
that.
the same aerodynamics that a 747 has, y'all.
Nope.
We don't fly in scale air.
No. The Reynolds numbers, lots of stuff different. And they talk
if it was
about
off a 1/4 inch, it wouldn't matter.
the weight of the weight of an airplane. If you take a inch thick wing and the same size as a 2-inch thick wing, the weight can be tremendous. The trim ain't gonna be nothing the same. It's all gonna be different. Everything's not created equal. What's your new one gonna weigh, Sparky? You think it's gonna be 58, 57?
This airplane here?
What are you thinking?
Well, if I stop painting right now, it'll be 58. It'll probably be around 62.
That's plenty good. Tiger 60 still?
Oh, yeah.
I sure have enjoyed watching you build that.
He's carrying around a paint gun in his hand right now like he's going to shoot something.
Well, I'm painting right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Paul's sanding right now.
Well, whatever.
Cha-Cha's not doing nothing but like us. He's looking and grinning. Sensei.
Great question. I have question.
I have an answer. No.
Oh yeah, sure. How long does it take for you to get a short kit from Pat Johnston? Because I have contacted him and he responded 2 weeks ago, but I haven't heard back from him since then.
Well, I would send him an email and ask him.
He's a fine guy, man. He's first shelf people.
Okay, cool.
Pat's a
What
class.
time is the best time to call him? Do you
When
know?
he's home?
I don't know that answer.
Me either.
But if you're communicating, he'll communicate back. Unless something, Pat's a first class cat.
Okay.
He's a good dude. Sturt's back there working. We need Lynn. Crickets.
I'm just tinkering.
You're doing something.
Just detail sanding, getting ready for the, okay, the paint job on this is from here back is going to be white. So the back half of the fuselage will be white and forward will be yellow. And then we'll have orange and red scallops on this. I'm going to do checkerboards, tapered checkerboards up here. And then the orange and red stripes will be on the wings.
Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but he sure comes out with some pretty airplanes.
He does that. You are correct.
We'll have to try that gold leaf sometime.
Good luck.
Yeah, it looks like I need it.
I did that video I did on my channel, Gold Leaf for Dummies, is probably the easiest way to do gold leaf. It's not correct, but it's the easiest way to do gold leaf for model airplanes.
What do you mean by not correct?
The correct way to do gold leaf is with a one-shot sizing, which is really like a white glue. You pounce on the pattern and you take a brush and you brush on the sizing. You let that dry till it squeaks. You run your knuckle on the back and then you stick the gold leaf on. And if you're using 24 karat, you can turn it with the turner that I got and put machine turns in the thing. That's the correct way to apply it. Then you take one-shot sign painter's paint and go around the outside with a liner. The problem with that is sizing is not compatible with dope. The dope will eat the gold leaf right off. It'll lift the sizing right off. So how I did the gold leaf on the model airplane is I cut a stencil and shot clear dope on it with retarder in it so it would dry real slow, and then I put the gold leaf down on the wet paint and let it dry, and then carefully you peel off the stencil and go around the outside with ink and then seal it with clear.
Paint it blue, put roundels on it, put a black nose on it.
Yeah. And a butt ugly canopy.
And a butt ugly canopy. And fly straight down till you can't stand it. Pull out.
Yeah.
I like the way the cockpit detail came out on that.
It's not really detailed. It's just kind of gives you a little essence of maybe it's detailed.
Yeah, looks good.
We're not flying scale.
Not true. I got a bottle of sizing that my idea was to try to recreate like canopy glue.
No, throw that shit out. No good.
Pardon?
Canopy glue is crap. Crap. Do not use it.
Interesting.
Did you lose a flap or something using that?
Yeah.
What do you not like about it?
It don't stick. Use epoxy. Yeah. Canopy glue, hinge glue is absolute shit. I'll never use it. Oh yeah, this is great stuff. So I put it in there and I bet it wasn't 40 flights and the flap pulled right out.
Oh, you put it in the hinge. Okay, I thought you was talking about gluing on a canopy. I
was told that canopy glue is great hinge glue. It won't stick the barrel of the hinge. Yeah, you're right. It won't. It won't stick the hinge either.
Yeah, I've never used it in a hinge.
Do you pin the hinges, Marcy?
No, my hinges are different than anybody else's. Mine are lollipops. It's wood on wood. They're epoxied in.
Ah, okay.
My canopy's epoxied on. I showed how to do that. And so you can't see the epoxy on it anywhere. And so there's no glue showing, and you can't see the superfill from the outside either. So.
I got a question. I'm doing a cardinal. I'm going to paint the fuselage orange. should I do white underneath? It's Brodak's paint. Should I paint it white first, or will the orange be okay? Will it cover okay?
Okay. Let me I hate to rag on Brodak, but Brodak paint is the same paint I'm using diluted. It's got half the pigment in it, so it doesn't cover very well. And I proved that to John. I said, how much paint do you use for a paint job on your airplane? He said, well, I use a quart and a half, or quart and change. And how much your airplane weigh when you're done? 72 ounces. Shit, you just need to use a half a pint of Randolph white or whatever. So it's all the dope is made by Consolidated Coatings. That includes everything. Acme, Sig, all the dope is made by Consolidated Coatings, and they formulate it for their specifications. Well, they're using half the pigment. Now, if you're going to paint your airplane white with Brodak dope, I would say that you put half of the can in the clear from the start, or whatever color you're going to paint it, orange. Put quite a bit of orange pigment in the clear and start bringing it up from the wood. And then when you get to the end, you might need a half a pint, but it's going to take considerably more Brodak paint to paint your airplane than it would if you use Randolph.
Okay, so yeah, then don't worry about the white underneath. Just put the like you said, put the orange in the dope and
to bring it up to fill it.
Here's
You
the
might
deal.
do a test. You might do a test piece because I think you may need to have white under the orange to get a good bright color.
You can see through it easy.
He's correct. You might need orange, but the best covering paint is the orange paint by Randolph. It takes the least amount of paint to cover, and I either use the 8600 Cessna Tiger orange or the 6428 Aranca orange. And you can do it. If I was going to paint this orange right now, it would take 1 cup. I mean, like nothing. The reason why I painted this white is I got lemon yellow, and I've never used this lemon yellow paint, lemon yellow color here, which is the 9512. And yellow is inherently bad on coverage. So I painted it white first.
So if I use this, it's international orange. I already got the paint, so I'm not going to buy anything else. But how much? What would you mix the white or the orange in with the dope? Like what kind of proportions? Just it hasn't had any dope on it yet.
Gonna spray it or what? Brush it on?
Gonna brush it.
Gonna brush it.
Starting for the first 3 coats. Start right from the beginning with this clear dope mixture. Take quart of clear, pour half of it off into a mason jar, so you got a pint. And then I would take probably 2 ounces of orange, so quite a bit of orange because you're trying to cover the wood. And then pour thinner in there and then mix it up. So now you got a quart of orange clear, and then just start painting the thing. And by the time you've got all that orange clear on there, when you get to the orange, it'll take half as much paint. But like I say, there's less pigment in Brodak dope.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I didn't quite get the percentage. So it'd be about. You talking about 10%?
No. Take a quart of dope and pour half of it off. So now you got 1 pint of dope in a mason jar. So it's half full, a quart mason jar. Take a little cup like this, 2 ounces, and fill it 3/4 of the way up of the orange paint. Pour it in the clear, and then fill it up with thinner and shake it up, and then start using that right from the base. And by the time you get to the end, it'll be orange.
You're using to harden the dope, harden the boss, and fill the cracks.
Right. All the way up. So you first 3
and a pint of dope to about 1.5 ounces of paint.
Yeah, 1.5 ounces of color, yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to know for now, and then I'll give it a try.
And then keep adding thinner. So if you because that's all you get is that 1 quart of base. Don't go back to the can and get more clear. Keep adding thinner. So paint a coat on, on the airplane and then add some thinner. Paint another coat on and add some more thinner.
It'll flow good that way too.
Yeah.
You'll have 10 coats on that, in my opinion, before you get done.
Yeah, but there won't be any more paint than a pint.
That's right. That's right. The thinner all goes away.
And by the time it's ready to color, it'll be orange. And
It'll
then
be-
it's
that's
just like this. There's 2 ounces of paint on this, you know.
Do I need to add any filler to it or just do that?
No, just
Put
it on, sand it off. You can water pop it even if you want. You know, get it all sanded with 320, and then take a water bottle and spray it, and that'll bring the grain to the top. It's called water popping. Then knock it off with 320 again. Then put your first coat of dope on, sand it all off. Second coat of dope, light sanding. Third coat of dope, light sanding. Then your paper, and then 3 more coats of dope, and keep sanding between each coat.
Yeah, it's not what you put on, it's what you take off.
Yeah.
And you're not sanding with 320 pushing. Quit.
No.
You know. You can hear it change sound when you sand, Stuart.
Exactly.
When it changes sound, a blind man can sand an airplane.
Yeah. When it changes down, stop
Quit.
sanding.
That's correct. Quit sanding. That's right.
You're done.
300?
320.
20? Okay. Okay. All right.
I have an airplane where a name was written on the wing and I didn't like it. So I decided to get rid of it. So I did, and still had the outline of the letters on there. So I decided that I would try to blend everything in. And I went with Aeroglass to start with in trying to touch it all up, and it was blending in pretty well. And then I started running low on paint, so I bought a little bottle of Rodak to mix in with what I had.
No good.
Then as I got to the end of it, I pulled the Rodak dope out and was shocked at the way the thinner was on the top and the pigment was on the bottom, totally separated from each other.
Yeah, they're incompatible paint.
How can this happen?
Because one is an MEK base and the other is a naphtha base. Now, I've been working on primers for you guys. You know, I'm always looking for primers. Now, I put this stuff on my Amazon store. This is the U-Pol sandable primer, $11.99 a can. It's 3 times as expensive as DC 540, but it works almost as good. It has all the right shit in it. It has methyl ketone tech and acetone and benzene and xylene and ethyl acetate and all the good shit in it. So this stuff works, and this, I kind of hate to recommend it because the minute they start selling it, they'll quit making it.
Funny how that happens.
What was that called, Sparky?
You can find it on my Amazon store, U-Pol.
What's the name of the paint?
I just told you, U-Pol.
U-Pol? Okay. All right.
Do you heat that can a little before you spray it, boss?
No, I just spray it.
You don't heat it?
No, and like if you look here, I've sprayed on the leading edge and I've got just about all of it sanded off. I'm going to sand all of it off. You know, you don't leave it sit on there. I don't anyway.
Ought to look like a negligee. You think you're seeing through it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to go grab some dinner and some ibuprofen, and then I'll watch the rest of your fun on YouTube until you get done.
Yeah, we're done here in about 5 minutes or 3 minutes on YouTube.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys have a great week, and hope you get a chance to. I know a lot of you have snow on the ground and stuff, and
Yep.
yeah.
Supposed to be below 0 by Sunday.
Oh man, yeah, we got a model airplane club meeting on Saturday, and we're supposed to have a high of about 40. Low is going to be about 26.
It's 17 here right now.
Woo! 17's go.
I show 19 degrees.
What are these strange numbers you guys are talking about?
Yeah, very well done.
we got a day coming up. It's going to be 1 degree Fahrenheit. Well, that's not just, I don't know, the next week it's supposed to get that cold.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for all your help, and you all have a good week. Okay.
Good to see you, Mike.
All right. You too. Good night.
15 right now, 15 degrees
Where are you getting this information?
from my phone.
Mine says 19 degrees.
I can't help your phone's wrong.
I think if anybody's phone's wrong, it's your Apple.
Look up Creve Coeur. See what Creve Coeur Airport is. I'll do it.
I think that's where they take it from.
You're close to Creve Coeur, Spark, where you live, I think.
No, he's
He's
closer
not?
than you. He's closer than you, but he's 40 minutes, 35 minutes away.
Oh, that far from Creve Coeur?
Yeah.
I'm closer to St. Louis Airport, which is right across the river.
Downtown parks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bail out, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, John, see ya.
Hey, see, John.
You having a show on Friday, or you?
We don't do Friday shows. We've announced it, voted on it. This is
Okay.
a loser.
Yeah, I thought I heard that. Okay, well, I'll see you next week, eh?
All right.
Good to see.
Take care, John.
Cheers, guys.
Creve Coeur showing 17 degrees 20 minutes ago
Yeah.
on the official airport weather. Spirit of St. Louis, is that where you're close to, Robert?
Yeah.
You're close to Lambert.
He's
No,
further.
I'm
St.
close to
Louis
Lambert.
is further away than Creve Coeur.
No, it's right across
it
the
is.
river in Illinois.
No, Spirit of St. Louis is Chesterfield.
Okay. It's St. Louis Airport.
It used to
Called
be
downtown
parks.
parks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Spirit of St. Louis is showing 15 degrees.
Yeah, that's Chesterfield. Downtown parks is the one.
Downtown? Okay,
Park.
downtown. They're showing 16 in downtown
Yeah.
7 minutes ago. That's the airport people. You know that they're supposed to keep their stuff up pretty good.
So how much off is Steve's phone?
Well, St. Louis is showing 16 degrees.
Yeah, that's what I got.
My phone is reading Oakville, Missouri, where I sit.
I got 16 here
Oakville.
now too. 16 now is what I got. It went up a degree. Muncie is at 12. Dayton's at 13.
Oakville, Missouri. Steve, is that where you're from?
Yep.
Oakville.
It's right next to Hooterville.
They're showing 16. Is that right?
My Oakville reading is 18 degrees.
Is 18. Oakville, Missouri.
So we can't help your phone's wrong.
No. I don't see an airport there. Is there an airport there?
Sackman Field be the closest one to me.
Okay.
I don't know if they report. It's a little private airport.
Sackman. Oh, Sackman Airstrip. No, that's in Wisconsin. That ain't you.
No, it'll be like in Columbia, Illinois.
No, they're not reporting. Yeah,
bet
Columbus,
Wisconsin's
Illinois. Columbus,
Columbia,
Illinois.
Columbia.
Okay. Yep. It's on the south side of St. Louis.
Yep.
Okay, I got it.
They got a hangar for sale over there. You can keep one up here by us, Joe.
They're showing 15 there.
There we go.
28 minutes ago. That's a small airport.
Yeah.
That's a private it's actually restricted even. You got permission to land there, technically.
So let me back up here and correct what I'm saying. I'm not reading my phone right. It says 14 degrees feels like 18.
Okay, that could be right.
Feels like
I didn't know that I had the emotion set.
You're in the ballpark. That's cold weather, y'all. Go out and
14
try
or
to
18,
take
either
that
way.
take that Super Tiger outside and set it down for an hour, then go start it. It'll be mean.
Here's one for you. A day this cold one morning 20 years ago when I was riding motorcycles, I had to ride my motorcycle to work on the freeway at 15 degrees.
Holy
By the time I got there, I was frozen. I could barely get off.
I bet
Was it
so.
Barefoot and uphill both ways?
Absolutely.
I had Long John's leather jacket, chaps. I was really loaded down with still colder than hell.
You were tempted to do 25 miles an hour on the highway?
I think I did.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to end the YouTube stream. I really appreciate you watching. We're going to go to the after party, where Steve will be your host. Let me see if I can bring up the YouTube channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and be sure to check out my Amazon links and my store in the description box. We got to get back to the studio here.
Anybody talk to John Miller lately?
No.
He was getting sick a week or so ago. He only came on briefly. And I think Philip called him after that, said he sounded terrible. I don't know if anybody calls him regularly.
Okay, let's see here. Let me end the
I
program.
didn't have his phone number. I'd call the guy.
All righty. Like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya. Okay, we're off of YouTube.
I don't have John